What is up, party people? I'm your host, Zoe Anderton, and you're watching Vibe Check Melbourne, the show that checks the vibes so you don't have to. Today's episode, we are going to be locating our vibes specifically in Melbourne CBD and zooming in on the best night spots for university students. We are extremely lucky to have some very special guests joining us today. Let me introduce you to committee member and community manager, Marlon and Amy.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for joining us. How are we?
Glad we're here.
Yeah,
doing well.
Good. Now, Russ, Amy, what does Russ stand for?
It's the RMIT University Snow Sports.
Snow
Club,
sports.
society.
Yeah, whatever, stuff like that. So snow sports. Now, before you click off, yes, winter is over for us here in Melbourne. However, this club is actually more than just making snow people and having sleepovers in igloos. Marlon, could you tell our viewers a little bit about the events that Russ holds?
I can, yeah. Well, apart from party rocking on the mountain, we generally party rock back in Melbourne too. So lots of pub crawls, pub golf, booze cruises, and some other non-drinking stuff, but there's a lot of drinking.
That sounds like a little disguised social club to me.
Yeah, a bit of social action.
Yeah. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritties. I want to play a game with you guys. A little game of where would you rather vibe, okay? So I'm going to read out a few places, and then basically you tell me which one you'd rather go to and why. So what are the vibes and, any fun experiences you've had there?
Yep.
Yada, yada.
Get the vibe radar going.
We want the vibe radar going.
Okay,
Thank you
let's do
very
it.
much. Okay, so the first place is Asian Beer Cafe on Latrobe Street or Father's Office on Little Lonsdale Street.
Look, I'm going to say Asian Beer Cafe, classic. One of the first ones you hit in RMIT, just around the corner. Can be a bit greasy, but part of the process. Just don't go in the bathroom for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Why not?
Oh, just can be a bit
it's
crazy.
greasy.
Yeah, it's a bit
greasy.
crazy. Yeah.
What about you, Amy?
Yeah, I'm definitely ABC as well.
Yeah.
I mean, those happy hour deals, my classes always finished at 4:30, so just straight to ABC.
Cocktail tower.
It's above the train
yeah.
station. Easy way home.
They
so.
are dangerous though, those cocktail towers, I
Yeah.
will tell you that. Okay, so next one is Her Bar on Lonsdale Street or the Rooftop Bar on Swanston Street.
What do you reckon, Amy?
I think I've been to the rooftop bar. I don't think I've been to her bar, but you can't go past a rooftop.
I
Like
know.
even that's what's good about ABC. You can sit
Yeah.
on the balcony as well. So yeah, definitely her bar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, no,
Love
not
the
her bar.
Rooftop.
Rooftop. Yeah.
Yep.
Rooftop's just a vibe, you know. If you want to bring a date there, have a little romantic moment, looking over the city.
Beautiful outlook. The
Can be a little
buildings.
bit bougie, you know. The pockets may hurt a little bit after those $20 cocktails, but yeah,
True.
it's a vibe.
So
You pay for
maybe
what you
not
get.
necessarily student friendly, but people friendly.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to splurge,
Yeah.
Instagram
treat yourself.
friendly.
Treat yourself.
mummy's credit card.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, next one is Yaya's on Smith Street or New Guernica on Smith Street.
Biased.
I'm so biased.
I feel like I know what you're going to say, but tell our
You
viewers.
Take it away.
I'm ride or die Gurns. Got
Yeah.
the Gurns medallion. Me and Gurns were like, Russ and Gurns go hand in hand, so
Tight.
I'm there.
I'm pretty sure if you're a Russ member, you get free Gurns entry.
Free entry, Gurns.
So,
Yeah.
Sign up now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good because, entry can be about $30
Yeah,
some
it's
nights.
crazy.
I've heard that. So, wow. There you go. Maybe you need to join a club if you haven't already.
I mean, Yaya's is still very good though.
Yaya's
Yeah.
is a vibe though too.
I
we
like
still
Yaya's.
we still love Yaya's.
As Russ members.
As Russ members,
we
I can't
have
go
to
against the
say
family.
Gurns.
Otherwise, you might be murdered for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. So we've also got Carlton Club on Burke Street
Oh, yeah.
or Perseverance Bar on Brunswick Street.
Yep.
Goodness. Yep.
Well, the first pub crawl I went to with Russ in 2020, we went to Purses.
Yep.
But then Carlton Club is so good.
Carlton Club is a
I love
vibe.
both.
They're
Yeah.
both free entry as well.
Free entry, and it sort of has that pub feel, you know? Feel like just being a geezer at a pub for a little while. I think the Carlton Club's a go for me.
And then every level of Carlton Club is like different. So it's
Yeah.
feel like you're in a different bar every time.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. And
Beautiful.
Purses,
Yeah, well, that's great. And I've got a last one, and we'll be quick with this one. Q Pie or QP on Brunswick Street, or Provincial Hotel? Tell me.
Provincial.
Provincial?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go against you here. I'm gonna go QP. Yeah, cheap
Wow.
pizzas.
There you go. You've heard it first, right here. Now, I actually decided last Friday to go out myself and ask students what their favourite night spot is in Melbourne and what the vibe they like about that place. So here's what they had to say. Roll the. What is the vibe?
It's vibing.
What is the vibe?
I think it's like Zero.
Okay, we need to find a better vibe. Let's go.
Jankara, it's a karaoke bar in the city. It's always going on. The best place in Melbourne.
It must be ABC. It's just such a great vibe for the early part of the night.
Our favorite place is Talk to Me in Chapel Street. It has a really great atmosphere and some great music.
Lucky Dog's usually pretty good. Spelled COQ, by the way. And it's always popping
I
up.
feel like the best spot in Melbourne is Hobart. It has the bougie vibe with affordable drinks.
We're at Father's office. This is criminal. Vibe check 0.
Well, there you go. A whole range of places and a whole range of vibes. Big shout out to all the legends who graciously stopped to chat with me. Now, thank you for tuning in. Next week, we will be looking at Melbourne's best outdoor lunch spots. Spring is in full motion and the flowers are bloom, so let's enjoy. In the meantime, get out and about, and I am Zoe Anderton. This is Vibe Check Melbourne, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Later will be Michelle and Angel telling us about their works. Michelle with her exhibition and Angel with her photography work. But first, it's no secret that our city loves its public art. This is seen through the enormous amount of street art in Melbourne and the suburbs. Earlier this week, we visited Duckboard Place, ACDC Lane and Hosier Lane and asked a couple of Melburnians about street art and its importance to the city. So, here you go.
Well, I think street art really adds to the culture and personality of Melbourne.
Some people view it as vandalism instead of art, but there's a lot of work involved in making these paintings. I think everyone should appreciate that we have these works in Melbourne because it really adds vibrancy and life into cities that can often look and feel quite cold.
Also, giving artists space to express their ideas and emotions is a great way for them to connect with the community.
All right, that was a VT package which was actually shot by our director, Megan. And now we will introduce our guests. So first up, as I said before, we have Michelle, who is a video game developer, also has an exhibition on at the moment. And we also have Angel, who is a photographer, photography student, who is also here to talk about that. So welcome, thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
And I guess, Michelle, we'll go straight to you and sort of ask about your exhibition. So why are sort of video games your chosen medium? What drew you to them initially?
Well, because I come from a programming background, so I'm a programmer. But what I like about video games, it's multidisciplinary. So there's art involved, there's music, there's writing. So I can be creative in different ways. And at the same time, like I feel like video games, it's not just people like watching a movie or watching a TV. Like it's interactive. Like you have that interactivity, that relationship with players. So that's why.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I love how they sort of meld everything together from visuals and to soundtracks. It is really impressive. And I guess asking about your exhibition, which you're doing, Mental Jam, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So Mental Jam is part of my PhD research. So I'm actually doing PhD at RMIT. So I make video games with young people about their lived experiences of depression and anxiety. And so Mental Jam is like part of our project. So we create different games and use like different mediums, like through the narrative writing or through the art to express how they feel. So we're currently exhibiting that at the RMIT First Light Gallery, and we also presented it at PAX over the weekend, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think just like a general question for all artists is like, how difficult is it to get your work out there or to get sort of your first step? Like, did you face any challenges like that, especially with the exhibition?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of like just cold emails, applying to things randomly. I have that, you know, like you miss 100% of shots you don't take. So I just apply to everywhere. And like, you know, if I get one thing, then it's great. If I don't, that's fine. So yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'll kind of chuck that question straight over to you, Angel, which is, do you find something similar when you're trying to show off your work or try to get more work, like after you've done something?
Yeah, it is a lot harder. I really rely on connections. It's all about like who you know, I feel. But also like social media is such a good way to get out my work since I'm a photographer, so it helps me post it. So, but yeah, it is quite hard. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, you've just said you're a photographer. Why did you end up with photography? And do you work in any other mediums as well, or is it just photography? A little bit, but not really. I'm mainly just purely photography. But I just always have loved it. Like I remember I used to steal my parents' cameras as kids and just take like shots and stuff. And then as soon as I got my camera at like 10, I just never put it down. So I've just always loved the way you can like capture and create moments with a camera. Yeah, and talking about like moments, are you more like a portrait sort of, you know, photographing people, or are you more spaces like landscapes? I'm more people, but like I'm more like I actually construct the image instead of like it out and about. Like I'm more like in a studio, like actually like do the like, you know. Like creating a space for it. Yeah, I create, and how do you find that side of it? Like do you really develop
like the space and you give people props and sets, or do you kind of put them in situations, whether it's like out in public? So obviously you're not like getting them in like a natural environment, but how much do you craft the space for them?
Pretty much everything. I'm a bit of a control freak, but only with my art, because I just love how everything combines together to create the whole picture. So yeah.
And do you have like a message that you try to convey through your works? Is that something that's like really important to you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm more of like a political artist, so like what's happening in the world really plays into my art. So I like do pieces that are about feminism, racism, the LGBTQ plus community, like a lot of things that just happen in the world that I love highlighting.
Yeah, and I guess, Michelle, I'll ask you first, and then Angel will ask you, how do you feel about like the next generation of artists coming through? Do you have like a piece of wisdom for them that they should like take with them, especially in like an industry that's creative, where sometimes it can be really hard, really tough?
I feel like you have to have a thick skin. And like, I mean, because my work are very personal, it's about like my personal experiences. So I just put it out there. And like, if people like it, great. If they don't, that's fine as well. And just keep putting yourself out there. Just apply to all the opportunities you could. And yeah, don't be afraid to fail. So yeah.
Angel, do you want to add anything to
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time people try to put themselves in a box because they see the kind of artwork that other people are making. And they're like, oh, it's not as good, or mine has to be more like that. But I think it needs to be more personal, and you just need to do what you think is right. And the crazier the ideas, the better. Don't feel like you need to like fit into one thing that you see everybody else is doing.
Yeah. So I think that's all the time we've got. So thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you, Angel, for coming on, and hopefully that was interesting and insightful for the audience. Otherwise, you probably won't see us next week or ever again, unless we were that good, and we might be back. But if we don't see you, thank you for listening and watching.
Burn It Pink, the show where we bring out our inner mean girl and discuss everything about relationships and its do's and don'ts. Today we are looking at all things red flags and uncover all kinds of strange and weird experiences that involve them. I'm your host Simone, and for this episode I am joined with comedian Maddie and of course our special guest Charlotte.
Woo! Hey!
So how are you guys feeling today?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh yeah, well thank you so much for joining me in the studio because this is honestly so exciting.
I know, look at all these lights. Wow.
Exactly. So let's get straight into it as we hand it over to Charlie to see what you all have to say about red flags.
Thanks so much, Simone. Now let's join me on the street as I ask people about their red flag experiences. So how would you describe a red flag?
In a relationship, it's kind of something that like rings alarm bells.
Something that comes up in a person that instantly in your head says, no, I don't want to continue with this relationship or friendship.
Is someone projecting past traumas from like past relationships and then like projecting them into the new.
And do you have like any personal experiences with red flags?
Lack of communication, waiting on like the perfect time to make a move or like kiss you and you've been together for like 6 months.
Ankle bracelets. When they have a list of like things you need to be.
Talking about their ex too much.
Oh my God, those responses were so crazy. Back to you in the studio.
Oh wow, what scandalous responses. So Maddie, could you tell me a red flag moment that you've experienced in the past?
Yeah, so my first proper boyfriend as an adult, we went on a date and he said that he was a SoundCloud rapper, which,
oh my God.
Ding, 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 should have been a massive red flag moment for me.
Yeah.
Dated him for 2 years, yeah.
Wow.
And let me tell you, relationship peppered with red flags.
Oh my gosh, I can definitely tell, but as soon as you said SoundCloud rapper, I was like, something's going on here.
Not good. And when I broke up with him, this is a big red flag, he released a 6-track rap album about me.
Oh, no way. Are you actually serious?
No, I'm serious, yeah. And it's entitled Funny Girl.
I love that you stuck that out for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. And like, funny, that's like the best review my comedy's ever gotten, you know?
Who needs the comedy? We just got the singles.
Chuck that on the poster. Yeah, you can check that out on soundcloud.com. Massive red flag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, what about you?
So many, I don't know where to start. I had someone rock up to my work after one date and sit there for 3 hours and wait for me to finish.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can text, you know, there's a texting.
Yeah.
I find that, yeah, that's the thing about texting. It's like you've got it on standby. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much commitment.
So much commitment, yeah.
Gosh, I can't imagine what that would have been like for you.
Snuck out the back when I was done.
Oh, block, report, oh, not good.
Oh, definitely. So I guess another question would be like, how do you guys try to avoid red flags, or even can you even avoid red flags?
Well, that's the thing. I know, you think I would have learnt from past experiences, but every time I see a red flag, I'm like, oh, it might be pink. I don't know. It seems like a nice shade. I'm sure it's fine, just me. I think you've just got to have a bit of self-awareness, which is hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think you learn from past experiences as well.
True.
But one of the biggest things I've learnt is get to know somebody before you jump into it. Don't get too excited, don't get swept away. Start asking some questions and just hang out for a bit.
It's very true, isn't it? You
Yeah.
find that's like through experience that like you need to actually have it and, you know, learn from mistakes and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, this is a bit of a controversial question.
Uh-oh.
So now that we've talked about other people's red flags, let's talk about yours. Do you think you guys have any personal red flags yourselves?
Definitely.
Yeah.
How long have we got? No. Look, I have a girlfriend at the moment. We've been together for like 4 years, but on our first date, I was very anxious and I didn't know how to kind of end a first date.
Yeah.
Some people might say, you know, kiss, hug. I just said to her, I end all my dates like I end my comedy sets. I've been Maddie Weeks, good night. And I shook her hand like it was a business transaction.
Business transaction.
Red flag.
Well, you're still together, so...
Well, yeah, I don't know. She had rose-coloured glasses on, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'm definitely just overthink things and then do silly things.
Yeah. And
That's kind of sweet though. I like that, that's sweet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I know myself, I am a little too independent at times. I can go months without needing to actually organise a date or message back or...
Yeah, well, there you go.
I really need to I think, focus on people a little bit more.
Yeah.
So staying on topic, now's the time for a really fun game of red flag, green flag. A game where I'll read out a list of scenarios and you get to decide whether it's a red flag or a green flag. Now you guys have red flags and green flags behind you.
What?
Hey.
No way!
Secret.
Oh, no expense spared. Here we go.
Just a $2 shop, you know, got to keep it real.
Wow.
So yeah, so basically I'm going to have these scenarios right here in my hand. I'm going to read them out to you and you're going to like raise them up and tell me what you think. We're going to discuss about it.
I love it. I love it. I'm ready.
Awesome. You guys ready? All right. So they live over 2 hours away. Red flag for you? Oh, why are you stuck in the middle?
Well, because I feel like you could make it work, but it's something you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
Someone like me, I'm not focused enough to do that.
No?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my keys are expensive. I'm not tapping on and tapping off just to, you know, maybe
taking the wheel
tap on, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, love that. Okay, cool. So the next one is not allowed to go clubbing without you.
Oh, come off it. No,
Yeah.
red flag.
Definitely, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Having different hobbies.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can learn a lot from someone.
Yeah,
True.
true. Experiences.
Experiences and different hobbies. So you guys reckon, yeah, it's like completely okay to have a different hobby?
I reckon my girlfriend sits on the couch knitting. Like, that's
beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it, but go off.
Love it. Okay, never getting to go to like their significant other's house. So like never going to their house.
Oh, what are they hiding?
Massive red flag.
Yeah.
Huge.
There we go. Okay, so that was some very interesting responses, just gonna say. Like, it was interesting how they're all really different and stuff. I loved it.
Yeah.
So thank you to our special guests, Maddie and Charlotte, for being our special guests on this chapter of Burn It Pink. You guys gave some amazing responses, just saying. They were fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
And thank you for tuning in. This has been your host, Simone. And remember, on Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Jones and you're watching Fact or Smack. In this show, we challenge our guests to tell some great stories and spin some hectic lies, and it's our job to see if we can catch them fibbing. Today we have two guests joining us. Our first guest is Gigi, and our second guest is Jean. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
I'm Gigi, and well, a fun fact about me is for 3 years straight, my dad and I competed in a interpretive dance competition, and we lost to the same precocious preschoolers for 3 years in a row, and it was by the third time we had to sit it out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. What about you, John? Introduce yourself.
I'm John. I am 20. I'm quite tired today, I'm not going to lie. But I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. I'm in good spirits, so let's go.
Right on. Well, thank you both for being here today. It's now time to put on your poker faces and bring everything you've got. The rules are pretty simple. Don't get caught or you lose.
Perfect.
So, Gigi, we'll jump to you. Are you ready to tell us your two truths and a lie?
Yes, I am. Okay, so my first truth or lie is I went to a Catholic primary school, and every week we had a mass, and we had to help out at the mass. And one week, my brother and I were in charge of helping the priest. And whilst he was reading a passage from the Bible, my brother and I both farted at the altar.
Whoa, okay. What else have you got for us?
Okay, my second one is one time at my Year 12 formal, the school vice captain came up to me and asked if I was on my period. I said, no, I'm not on my period. She informed me that it was all over my white formal dress.
Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Okay, last but not least.
And my third one is I was at my drama production after party. I was Snapchatting my my 15-year-old crush, and whilst I was Snapchatting, my phone fell in the toilet and I had to fish it out.
Damn.
Respect.
Okay. John, so we had a lot of different stories come out there. Let's have a discussion. What do we think the lie is?
It's a bit tough. I mean, the formal one was interesting.
Could be red wine though, sneaky.
I think that the more tragic ones are more likely to be truths. So I'm going to say that the phone in the toilet is likely to be the lie.
You think the phone in the toilet and not farting at the altar?
I reckon it happened.
You reckon not the priest and definitely phone in the toilet while we're Snapchatting a 15-year-old crush?
I think that's a good sibling bonding experience to fart at the same time in church. So yeah, I reckon that's the truth.
Okay. Well, Gigi, are you ready to reveal which one of those was your lie?
My life sounds outrageous, but you're correct.
Let's go.
I know. Yeah, I did fart, and it was a loud one. So did my brother as well. Don't know what we had for breakfast.
Beans, most likely.
Yeah, something gassy.
It's no secret that people tell lies every day. Big lies, small lies, and white lies too. We wanted to find out more about the types of lies being told and why so we sent our producer onto the street, onto campus. So let's check in with Beck now.
Thanks, Larice. We're out here on RMIT campus and we're interviewing some people. What is the biggest lie you've ever told?
It's a tough one. I don't like to lie very much, but I think I once said that my mum had passed away and I full went along with it to someone.
Why do you think people lie in general?
Probably to impress other people, to get out of situations.
And what's the worst lie you've ever told or someone's ever told you?
Probably with my sister. She'd be like, yeah, no, I didn't borrow that white top. Something like that. We get into a lot of arguments about sharing clothes. So yeah. Lying is not cool. I hate liars, so.
Thank you, Beck. Now over to you, John. Are you ready to tell us your two truths and a lie?
100%.
All you, man.
All right. I mentioned I was pretty tired, and to tell the truth, it's because last night I was up until 1 a.m. swatting flies, just one after another. About 20, I'd say. Just came in the room, we're going around, kept swatting. Yeah, it was a lot, but hey, that's the truth. And then the next one was I have a tattoo of a little Hispanic man on a bicycle right under my arm, on my rib cage. So, yeah. And then the last one was I can do the human pretzel, but yeah, it hurts when I do it.
Interesting. Gigi, we've got a lot of different stories came out of that one. The 1 a.m. one seemed very interesting, swatting lots of things away out of the face.
Yep.
Then we have the tattoo story, which is quite fascinating.
Thanks.
Which one are we thinking?
I think I'm going to go with the tattoo one because just the idea of a little Hispanic man on your rib.
Yeah, just under here.
Just there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's the lie.
That's the lie? Okay, interesting. Well, you did spin some hectic stories there, John. Are you ready to reveal which one was the lie?
100%.
The Spanish man?
You're right.
Yes.
Crazy. We both got one each.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
you guys were pretty good today. You guys brought some hectic skills to the set today because you both technically won. Like none of you, none of you flopped.
Wow.
That's hectic.
I was so sure as I said before, I went to Catholic school, so like Catholic guilt is real. So I was not sure I could lie, but I mean, obviously I couldn't actually.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I think we can all agree our guest told some really fantastic tales. Thank you for tuning in today with us. Once again, I am your host, Louise Jones, and you're watching Fact or Smack.